What a win by Kurt Kitayama. As promised, let's bring Mark and Bob into the show now. And Mark, I got to read off Kurt Kitayama's first three nine-hole scores over the weekend: 28, 32, 29. This guy was pretty much in video game mode, wasn't he? It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, 10 strokes better really than the rest of the field with the irons on the weekend alone. It was just so impressive, spot on. His proximity to the hole, guys, 11 feet on the front nine Sunday morning. This is after a 28 on Saturday. So you followed up with a 29 and you go 11 feet proximity. Like these numbers are unheard of. There were a lot of guys in the field on Sunday that had proximity to the hole between 20 and 25. Golf course was soft, right? It had a ton of rain earlier in the week, huge storms coming through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. So it was throwing darts out there for these guys. And it wasn't until the last, say, five holes on Sunday that we really saw any kind of wind of any kind. So you expect these proximity numbers to be good, but 11 feet, I mean, that's unheard of. And Bob, what shocks me, Weeksy, more than anything else, is a guy can go shoot 28, 29, and be 10 shots better than the field with the irons and be on a record-setting pace for birdies for a weekend on the PGA Tour. And yet, Weeksy, 18th hole comes down to one shot to win. It is hard to win out there.
There's a lot of good players on the PGA Tour week in and week out, and just when you think, you fire a 60 or even a 59, the odd times we've had those where players just don't follow up and don't win. And it was nice to see Kitayama sort of continue to follow up, but a big pack of chasers out there, and there's a lot of reason, right? There's a lot to play for right now. Not at this late time in the season, you're looking at the top of the leaderboard, but you're also looking down a little further. But I think for Kitayama, it's sort of a validation of his career to a certain extent. Here's a guy who has played basically all over the world, basically on every tour except in Canada, and he has just finally kind of hit his stride here this year on the PGA Tour.
And a clutch one for sure. I mean, he started the week 110th in the FedEx Cup standings. Now he's 53rd, and Bobby's clinched his spot in the postseason, and it's a second career PGA Tour win, and definitely his most important performance of his career, isn't it?
It is, and when you think about it, he's got a chance now, obviously, to get inside the top 50. He can play again in the coming weekend and at Wyndham, and maybe even move up even further. So when you consider where he was 2 weeks ago, coming into this tournament at 110, sort of thinking, okay, I'm going to have to be scrambling and do what I've been doing in the last couple of years, which is just playing the starts where I can get. And as some of the PGA Tour players like to call it, the Island Tour, which means you get all the opposite field events like the Dominican and Puerto Rico and all those other ones. He's got himself logged in. We're a 2 year exemption. He's just in a really good spot with his victory. It's amazing what one win can do for your career.
Bob, to your point though, with the validation, I mean, I was with him in 23 when he won at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And if you can win at Bay Hill, you kind of feel like you can win it anywhere. And I'm surprised that it's 3 years later almost, and it takes him that long to kind of validate that victory at the Arnold Palmer. But yeah, boy, you get to that top 50, Adam, you alluded to that. Whoa, look out.
First in strokes gain approach, 11th in strokes gain around the green, and he might have the best nickname on the PGA Tour. Quadzilla gets it done for his second career PGA Tour victory.